Well, okay, the first thing is the position management. And to be frank with you guys, I used to do it slightly different. Um, like I would have set like, okay, I'm gonna take this, and then once it hits 100%, I'm half out. Like that was always my goal. And I'd be willing to take like a small loss, and like that perfectly fine. But I think that the key to it is not to really worry about that so much, but to worry about when it reverses. Like if this Q's five or doesn't reverse and it hits high day, like you're in. Right? Like there is no partial because it hasn't reversed. It's still going to high day. You engage the magnitude. Um, but like let's say the five were to go 2-2, reduce by half. Now your stop can be low a day, and you can just let it go. And I think that it unlocks something in your brain to just be willing to go do anything because like you can have longs and Pfizer still. Literally, you can still have longs in Pfizer, even though it's at your break even of your contracts, because you're in profit. You took half off. And then once you do that, now the world's your oyster because all you have to do is you go to these lists, you say, okay, day, enforce, yes, give it to me. Today with continuity to the upside. And it's like, okay, which positions do I want to be in today? Well, I want to be in these ones. These are the good ones. It's like, yep, by definition, they have to be, right? Go to Kellogg's, for example. Another gap up. That's interesting. Let's see. I don't know. Let's try and find something that's moving today. It's like, okay, waste management. Still got PMG to go. Something we look for. Well, we'll have to wait for it to triangle out and set up. But if we just set up, let's say it goes poke down 30 and goes 222. All right, buy it. Once it makes high day, take half off, put your stop at the low of the 30 and let it go. And then go do something else. Find a different one to trade. And just do that over and over and over and over. And you can't lose. And I think if I explain it that way to people, where it's like, hey, like, and this is how Rob explained it, but I don't think he got to like the meat of it really quick. And since the stops are so tight, everyone at the strat, like, we say like start smaller, add, right? But if you have like a hammer 30 or 60 signal full time from continuity and it goes reversal, go in with 1,000 shares, right? You're risking the low of the 60 and it's a hammer, so it's like 10 cents. So if you do that and then it goes $1, you just made $1,000. Then half off, now you're booked 500, and now your stop can be 500 below where you entered. And if it's a SPY monthly signal, and everyone's like, oh, it stops me out and then it keeps going, it's because they're not managing it like that. Is if you manage it like that, it's probably not going to stop you out. If it's got true continuity and it's actually going somewhere, it's not going to get you, right? Like for example, this week's SPY, exactly what we said yesterday. Buy right in here, 3-2 add, right? Boom, 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 boom. Partial half. Where's your break even price? Down into this gap now. So why would you have to get out? You don't. Then up they go. Here's an add, buy more. Maybe make a little. Two up in red, 30, reduce by half. Where's your break even price? Now it's down in here. Good, you get to hold that too. And then there's a 3-2, maybe some 15ers in here. Maybe buy again at the close, and then reduce by 80% or something into the overnight. So be it. Here's your 3-2 here. Buy SPY right now. Add to it again. Literally, right? And where's it going? Up there. What would that change? The daily group. So the day, week, and 60, they're going up now. And we know about that? We did. So you buy it here. Once it makes high day, take half off. And then your stop goes here. Or you could say, buy it here, makes high day. And once it does make high day, if it doesn't reverse, we have a lot of magnitude because we are no longer grinding at all-time highs, but coming back through a previous range. So we could go through all these guys because you have a 2-2 week here. It's going there. And then once it gets there, maybe take half off or maybe just hold it. Because, if it's up 4%, maybe it doesn't come back. But if you explain it and you think about it like that, then there's no, like, everyone's like, oh, like trading's so difficult and it's going to take you 5 years to learn. It's like, no, I think, that's the other thing. And I'm trying to spit it all out at once because you asked me. It's going through my head right now. But that's the other thing. Expectations. You get what you believe. And that's just how it works. And I know everyone knows this is true. 100%. You get exactly what you believe. Like if you believe like I can make, or you're like trading, it's such a scam, it's this, it's that, and there's no way anyone can do this, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna go and try it. Like I don't believe anyone can do it, but I'm gonna go and try it, and you lose all your money, and you're like, yep, exactly what I thought. It's like, okay, but then you have the other guy, and all these people on Twitter, they're pulling in tens of thousands of dollars, and what did they think? They're like, no, I can do this. Maybe it took them a couple of years because it's a skill like everything else, but they said I could do it, and then they can do it because they believe that. Like the same way, if you're a golfer, maybe let's say you're a +5 handicap, you're a really good golfer, and And then you get into a big slump and you go back to like a -1 or something like not as good. Um, well, if you tell yourself, "Oh, I'm never gonna be a good golfer ever again," well, you're not gonna practice. You're not gonna do all the things that make you a good golfer, and you're not gonna believe it. So you're not going to become one. Like you're just gonna peak and you're done. Like the people who say like, "Yeah, I peaked in high school." It's like, well, you did, if you say it. So I think that's a huge thing, and I think it applies not only to trading but everything else. And I think it's so important. And I see it with the people who are the most frustrated with the strat. The most frustrated people are just insufferable. It's like I can't even stand reading their stuff because it just pisses me off. They're like, "Oh, the strat this and that and it can't work and it doesn't work and I know it doesn't work, but I'm still going to try and I know it." It's like, "Well, make up your mind, does it work or not? Why are you looking at it?" And that's also why I think what Rob said was like came out so like it was kind of abrasive to people almost because like we just come in here and we laugh and we have a good time because what else are you gonna do, right? Like if this 3-2-30 on SPY doesn't work, are we gonna go and cry about it and post on Twitter, "The strat doesn't work, blah blah blah"? No, we're just gonna say the buyer they took the offer and they weren't strong enough to do it. They tapped daily open, weren't strong enough. Stop it out. Okay, so be it. You already made the money on the fivers off the lows, right? And you're risking their money. So no cry, no tears. Go and golf. Do whatever you want. Yeah, so I guess the gist of it is I think the risk management part is huge. The understanding just continuity, that's why I made the video. I was like, this is the first thing I want people to grasp. And Rob always started with continuity too, so it makes sense to me. And then just understanding this is what a signal looks like or a reversal. The stop is tight. Sometimes you'll get stopped out. When it works, make sure you defend that position when it first reverses against you. Risk their money instead of yours. Casino's open. And have a good time doing it. Believe that you can. And, you're off to the races.